us a little bit what you witnessed in these days?
Well, I think it's a laboratory in the best sense of the word, because everybody is trying, working on different things in different ways. So you see a lot of kind of energy and asking and creating and trying and failing and thinking and doubting, like in a real laboratory. So when the work is in process and in progress, it is, how can I say, it is in a way not really the right way to say what's going on and what kind of things there are and so on, because things are in progress. And as we know in making art, things need time to mature, and many times it is only in the very last period that you get where you are, and sometimes even when the work is done, you actually are not yet there.
What can you about this context?
Well, there is, I don't know what would be a specific thing, but certainly this is the situation where initiative is completely or mostly in the hands of participants. So in that sense, the kind of initial setup has been transformed according to the needs and also the logic and nature of work, which I think it's good, because that make those who are creating even more responsible, and then this should basically mean better quality of the work.
Outside of society, is important to reflect on the role of the artist in society.
Well, basically my point was that with the modernist fight for autonomy of art, this process of autonomization had positive sides. So the art was not legally prosecuted or eliminated, or artists didn't suffer anymore as maybe in the past, generally speaking. But on the other hand, this autonomization had as a consequence kind of isolation also of art. And today art very rarely participate in broader public and political life. My thesis here is that we should not think about art in terms of changing the world or changing people, but we can talk about the role of art as something which participate in public life by co-creating atmosphere which dominates in a certain society. This, I think, art can do a lot, and that is the place of art which I see today. Well, I think this is something to be invented. I think the point of laboratory is that this is a kind of experimental and constructed situation where things could be invented. They can be also rejected, refused, abandoned. But basically, these are kind of think tanks, and I think this would be good somehow to consider during this period of time. So basically, not how do we want to work here, but also how do we want to work in general.
Can you share with us in this question?
This is a very good question, because when you work on something in the past, you basically always come to the certain ideology of documentation of the period. And also today we are obsessed by this, that everything has to be documented, and that as if the fear of death has never been that strong as it is today. So every single thing should be documented. Pop stars, they get biography when they are, 22 years old, and so on. So I think there is a kind of, well, this is a long story, but basically I think that Catholicism and neoliberalism go very well hand in hand, and actually I can see this obsession with documenting things a little bit in this context of fear of death. Because here my favorite example is from Lewis Carroll, when they wanted to do as good as possible map of Great Britain. And then, they were adding this and that and so on. And then at the end, they realized that the best possible map of Great Britain is Great Britain itself. Yeah? So if you want to translate this into the work you are doing here, then you should actually copy and make available these places, this time, these people, these clothes, this food, this lighting, these talks at any possible moment. Yeah? And in that sense, also what you are doing now, like interview, recording, and so on, it is not a documentation, actually, but it is a part of this. Because you could document this by writing down things, but you decided to use technology because it is available, and you think that is the best way.